Creamy. Good morning. My patrons on patreon.com/drawing the circle and everyone else on planet Earth, as this is a public version, recording it unlisted on Patreon, but we'll eventually make this public today. Good morning. Dark Moon in Libra Sunday. Sun went into Scorpio. So, getting ready for that dark moon in Scorpio on Tuesday, 6 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, my humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, and whoever is watching this whenever they are watching it. It is a rainy day here in beautiful Suffolk County, Long Island. I'm in my bathrobe. Got a coffee, sitting on the couch doing this from the laptop, my hair doing what it's gonna do. Truth in advertising, huh, folks? Yeah, I'm a little salty this morning. I'm more saline than sweet, I'll be the first to say it. It's a lot of alliteration for this early in the morning, but I am very, very happy to be here. Got a decent night's sleep, putting out the 5 draw what do I need reads for this new moon in Scorpio, a full moon in Taurus, October into November 2022. It's a lot to say over and over and over again, but I just have 2 more of them that I'm going to do today. Aquarius and Pisces, those will post either later today or tomorrow, depending on upload times, blah, blah, blah. And tomorrow I'm taking a day off, which means really, really busy because I'm going to be putting together something for that new moon. In Scorpio, spell-wise here first on Patreon and then to the rest of the world, usually about a week or a week and a half later. I release that to YouTube, etc., etc., etc. So, what's on the agenda astrologically? Well, Sun's now in Scorpio. Yay. Oh, happy birthday, Scorpios. I certainly have a number of Scorpio friends. Hail and blessed be. Blessed birthdays to you sun signs out there, you Scorpio sun signs. But dark moon in Libra. Dark moon in Libra. The 3 days before new moon is called dark moon. Balsamic moon, you'll see it called that as well, like the vinegar, which is the intensity of the shadow work if you're doing it. I would say certainly if you're not doing some kind of shadow work, emotional healing, alchemy, something or other, you might want to duck and cover today, particularly in your one-on-one relationships, right? Yeah, keep them sunny, keep them funny, keep them gay, or move on, right? But certainly a good day to clear your end of any toxic one-on-one tug of wars, second chakra, navel to navel kind of vibe, and Lord knows I do that every day. I do that every day. Oh, please, I'm not a martyr about it, but I do a lot of spiritual practice just to get my energy together to do readings on YouTube with no one else in the room except 3 cats and a bunch of plants and crystals, if you want to count them as part of the collective, because they are. I mean, come on, we're all one, blah, blah, blah. Have been working on that. And we can talk about that in one of these in the morning where the world's not going to, because I don't name names publicly. I don't. Vows of confidentiality, whatever. Yeah, I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, and I woke up a tad snarly. It's okay. I'll work on it. Being an empath and all, feeling everybody's salty, snarly a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. You got to feel it to heal it. But let's look at the astrological weather today. Certainly a balsamic moon, a dark moon in Libra on a Sunday. There's a huge opportunity to heal. Sunday, day of the sun. Prophecy, vision, healing, right? Calling things out into the light. Apollo, the sun gods, have at it. But with the dark moon in Libra, it is very much that 7th house one-on-one relationships and our relationships to the shadow self. Justice, balance. It is so, well, I won't say easy. I will say it is very simple to turn on the TV or, your your device and see injustice in the world and have that real strong feeling in your gut. It's like, it's so fucking unfair. It's so unfair. It's so unjust. And the part of us, the inner child, what do you want to call it? The shadow of our childhood, the unprocessed stuff. Because kids, nothing's fair for kids, right? It's like, I didn't get that purple polka dotted pony I wanted. It's so unfair, except they don't fucking exist. And if it's unprocessed, where does it go? Into the cell tissue, and then into the collective unconscious, where it erupts all over the place. So that's what I mean. A lot of that unfairness, right? Think Libra, right? The scales, justice, balance. In your one-on-one relationships, and feel your end of it and give it the love that it needs, because that child that remembers everything, remembers every slight, every insult, every piece of abuse, every moment of neglect, every scorch mark from codependent patterns and the wounds of loss, right? Remembers all of it, and just wants to be given the voice, right, to feel what it's feeling, and the love and acceptance that other people can even give us. But if we don't give it to ourselves, there's always that little bit left over, right? And usually it's the other way around. It's like people can only give us so much acceptance, forgiveness, whatever, but then what's our percentage of it? Sometimes that can make the majority of the iceberg under the water something that only we can do for ourselves, and of course with the help of the divine, your guides, your higher power, fill in the blank, divine Mad Lib, right? God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Zan, Jaina, Fred, Wilma, whoever your higher power is, the one, the source, the nameless Tao, the mother of all, the pregnant void, whatever you want to call it, right? And certainly when I think about my grandparents and my great-grandparents, it's not like they had access to this information. So much of it is cutting edge and new. Sorry, Balthazar, my middle son. He's such a bowling ball. Watching him jump up on the next level of the couch is just funny sometimes. It's my little Hanna-Barbera moment. Right, but look, the Dead Sea Scrolls are around for my grandparents. They didn't go after it, right? They didn't go to Qumran, right? They probably didn't study the ancient Kabbalistic, considering they're Christians. The Irish Catholic on one side and Italian Roman Catholic on the other. There's a lot. Food's very different too, I'll say that. One is very potato based and the other one's very pasta based. Just noticed that in retrospect. But certainly the opportunity, right? Cardinal air in a dark, right? Libra, cardinal air, dark moon, that we can really go into the vaults, right? Call to spirit and say, all right, what do I got to do to heal this, right? And don't be surprised if it is, feel it. Because we don't realize how much emotional weight, WEIGHT, we carry with us from relationship to relationship, the residual stuff as well as sometimes the bulk of what went down. Now, you can take as long as you like to do that. As Course in Miracles would say, it can be delayed but not prevented. And sometimes delay is the more compassionate choice, right? When you feel like you've got 10 plates spinning, juggling knives, a lot going on, and an empath on top of that. And I don't mean empath versus narcissist. I mean vibrational, emotional, feeling other people's energy and emotions in your own nervous system, like a radio receiver, right? Feeling it all. Just know that that's a lot. It's a lot. And dark moon is a time for rest. I really don't even cast during dark moon unless I gotta. Did you see the look? The shift on that look on my face? Unless I have to get out the burn list. Right? And unless I need to do some dark moon magic, which is really, for me, I'd say 99% of it, internal stuff, facing my shadow, embracing my shadow, hero's journey, Easy pass, River Styx, easy pass, pop over, say hi to Hades and Persephone. She loves it down under, trust me. She does. She's lovely. They're a lovely couple, right? Just you staying at the palace is tricky. Get your own place outside the palace gates or right with that. And there's some. I really should write a tour guide to the underworld. Oh, I thought my phone was on silent. I'm so sorry. I do apologize. It was such a bad etiquette. Oh, Lord and Lady Bunbury, how nice of you to exist. There we go. Bunbury. Did I just get into the importance of being earnest? Well, I think it is important to be earnest. Oh, Oscar was so wild. But particularly to be authentic, right? I would really avoid face-to-face confrontations for a couple of days, just personally. That's my gut on it. I mean, I live alone, right? Or one-on-one confrontation with my cats, it's not such a biggie. I'll just sit them down one at a time and explain to them what they're cats, right? But I think I'm going to keep my phone communications to a minimum. I'm going to call my mom today because it's Sunday. Tradition. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to keep it light. I'm going to keep it sunny, keep it funny, keep it gay, to the best of my ability. And, get the rest of them 5-card draws done. And then start thinking about what spell I want to put out there. I know what I'm doing personally, I think. I know what I'm doing for my own personal stuff. But I can feel the Scorpio new moon, right? So take these days to really feel what you got to feel, heal what you got to heal. It's a Sunday. If you don't got to work, lock yourself in a room, right? Do what you got to do, right? Talk to your shadow. Do whatever comes to you or sit in meditation. Bring yourself into balance. Watch the news and, rail at the injustice as you talk to that child inside of yourself, saying it's okay to feel this way, but we don't have to burn down the village. I love you. I love you. I love you. You can EFT tap and Ho'oponopono and, gargle Reiki water. I don't know, whatever you do. See, and that's the joy of the time we are in from a mystic's point of view. I am a lifelong mystic. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I have mystic my entire life. I just call that archetype witch right now. Easier. You have so many different ways in. But that's the beauty of where we are. You don't have to be limited to one rigid, specific spiritual practice or healing technique. Mix it up. Oh my goodness gracious. Follow your inspiration, because pushing that envelope. So, all right. So here's an example. I took the Flower of Life workshop. It's not about botany, I promise. It's about sacred geometry. And if you're watching me on YouTube regularly, please don't make me do math. I thought geometry was going to be all pretty shapes. They had to bring numbers into fuckers. But the Flower of Life, the Merkaba breath meditation thing, Drunvalo Melchizedek. So if anybody who thinks Angelo Lyons Mal for short is weird, try walking around with the name Drunvalo Melchizedek. Never met him. God, that's his name. I believe he might live in New Mexico, Sedona. You know how they all kind of gravitate down there. Such a bitch. Oh, yeah, I'm a New Yorker, honey. The Flower of Life workshop, sacred geometry, and, the Merkaba breath and meditation and all of that stuff. Even that's come around, that's revisited, so there's so many different ways, so many different, sorry, they're hitting me with a lot, would make sense, Dark Moon and Libra. Shadow work, from the most clinical, psychological, Jungian, Freudian, although young, forever young. I want to be forever young. Jung really kind of did more about the shadow self itself, if that makes sense. All the way to the tinfoil hat woo land here. Hot glue the stone on your third eye and gargle kale juice, right? And sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards. From the clinical to the tinfoil hat, and there's that lovely middle ground, which is where I try and be right stuck in the middle, right? I'm stuck healing in the middle. really surrendering it to the divine. Just be like, I have no idea what you want me to do about this, but I'm willing to be shown. The grace of humility. In my book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It's not like I created the grace of humility, though. All right. But interestingly enough, I call it the maiden grace because it is that innocent. It is that child, that part of us that can often take the hardest hits, but underneath those hits, those wounds, abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss, is this innocence, is the divinity of who we are, the seeds of the higher self within the physical body. So a little bit of love can go a long way when it's internalized. And, of course, I talk a lot about Matt Kahn. Oh, and go back and check your 8-card draw shadow reads, right? Because today, tomorrow, or the days to maybe work those mantras. Cardinal air, moon in Libra, create, right? Create during the waning moon. I know it's the dark moon. I know it's a little counterintuitive that way. Paradoxical, probably. So a bit more of a paradox to create during dark moon. But think of, giving yourself maybe an hour today, however long you wanna, to heal what needs to be healed inside of you, little by little by little. Love is the answer, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's such a huge freaking cliche that people are like, yeah, whatever, especially if you're from New York. I love being in New York, and I love New Yorkers, but come on, man. We are cynicism 101. All the way up to the master's degree in cynical. We just are. It's okay. Maybe not as bad as DC, though, but whatever. It's a different vibe. We have better restaurants. But the opportunity to actually maybe look into the quantum, right? Look into What the Bleep Do We Know? Wonderful documentary about the real beginning basics of quantum physics and all that jazz. How every time you heal a little bit, even like a memory from your childhood, that you just gently, lovingly give it some breathing room. Love is the answer. What's the question? How do I heal this? Love. Whatever arises, love that. Matt Kahn. Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Beep. It's a great answering machine message. Voicemail. Answering machine? How fucking old am I? 54. But whatever comes to you today, because it's Sunday. I mean, if you're working, you're working. I'm working, but I'm not leaving the house. I picked up everything I needed for today, yesterday. So lights, camera, action, satisfaction. Oh yeah, and I got my overtone rich black. Yay! So I did my hair last night, rinsed it out. Getting ready for Halloween. Shit, Halloween's a week from today or something crazy like that. As much as this year dragged on, it blew past, didn't it? And of course, Samhain. Halloween to me is not Samhain. Halloween's lovely. I love Halloween. I'm hanging out with a Scorpio sister of mine, friend of mine, not biological, soul sister, high school friend. Gonna hang out at her place around a fire and scare the children's on her front lawn. I love doing that. I did it last year. I could do that again this year, weather permitting. But then November 7th. Is that right? Oh, I don't have it right in front of me. Oh, yeah, I do. So good to be a Virgo with a large couch. Yeah, Samhain is November 7th. Samhain, the 8th spoke of the pagan wheel of the year, the final spoke before it reboots at Yule, winter solstice. From Mabon to Samhain is the dying, right? Look at it, harvest season. From Samhain to Yule is the dead. It's time to lay fallow. And yet, holiday season. I don't wanna. Don't make me. But hey, there's the difference between the human agenda and the divine lunar agenda, at least. You do your best. You're supposed to let the fields lay fallow. If you understand crop rotation, I suppose that might make more sense. To rest, to integrate, to sleep, right? And to get up into that eighth chakra, eighth Sabbat. And during the circle will be 24 and a half years old. We started it on May 1st, 1998. But I go by the actual solar cross quarters and junk like that. So you can see there's a lot on the table. Oh yeah, and then the next day, the 8th, full moon in Taurus, total eclipse. At 6:02 a.m. Couldn't somebody schedule that a little bit later in the day? I got stuff to do. Like the universe cares. I mean, it does. It just sees a different priority list for us. Like, I don't know, healing the wounds from the illusion of separation, racism, misogyny, crime, war, all those things that you do when you don't get there's only one of us incarnate here, right? It's like you identify with the tip of the finger instead of the entire hand, right? So even the people you hate the most, you're still one with them. I know, I didn't write that rule. It's just how this game is programmed. I don't know, whatever. It's just the foundations of it all. So, if you're seeing injustice and hate in the world, go within and say, okay, who do I hate? I'm not all in with you. If you spot it, you got it. We're all one, but you can have the mirror of judgment. In other words, you're really generous and you just can't fucking stand stingy people, right? People who don't share, people who are just greedy. That's judgment. There you go. Start there, right? If you're watching the news and you're just like, I'm not going to do that. Instead of drawing down the moon, you're like, fucking up the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, take that. It's like, okay, well, all right. Because that's not just that person or situation that's triggering you. It's lifetimes of this stuff. Personally, your own personal soul's journey, lifetime after lifetime, but interwoven with how many people feeling exactly the same thing. Different scenarios. You don't have to have been with them in a past life. Mother, lover, brother, son, hunter, and the hunted one, right? And you do your best. That's planetary service. Personal / planetary healing is that we're all one. And honestly, I don't see how we're going to survive with the technology that we have as an intellectually based species without opening the heart and getting, oh yeah, you're rubber, I'm glue. Anything I say bounces off you and sticks to me, which doesn't rhyme. But you sort of get the idea, right? What do you want to drop in the quantum field today? Ooh, drop it like it's hot. Right? What are you going to drop? Let or gold, love or fear, pain or peace, which is more of a new moon thing. When you can say, all right, no, I'm going to take today, tomorrow, as long as needed, to set some boundaries. Here's Matt Kahn, Whatever Rises Love, that really good book. Like self-love, right? You can read 10 billion books on self-love. But he goes, loving yourself kind of starts here. You take time, right? A chunk of time. It could be an hour. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 5 seconds. I would go longer than that. You take space. Close the door. Senior Wences for you there. Close the door. That's really, I think that was done before I was even born, yet somehow I know that, right? Time, space, rest. All right, just leaving that. Just give me a minute. Let's put my head down on my desk. like I'm in second grade. I'm just gonna put my head down on my desk. And then just be with your breath. It's not even doing breath work. It's just your relationship with your breath. There's a one-on-one relationship you literally can't live without. What's your relationship to your breath? What's your relationship to your breath? Right? My breath is the presence. My breath is the presence of well-being. The more consciously I breathe, the more alive I feel. It's another Matt Kahn quote. It's one of the 10 golden rules. From the universe always has a plan. Really good stuff. And by the way, in case you're new to the Mal experience, he's not the only teacher. I've studied the materials of, oh no. I had my I was reading tarot when I was 12. I was reading Dion Fortune. I was reading The Sea Priestess in high school. Actually, was that sophomore year? Yeah, sophomore year in high school. Read about chakras. Melita and Denning, Psychic Self-Defense. I think I got the author and the title right there. I mean, I've been doing this a very, very long time. I read the Arancha book, not cover to cover. Oh, look up that one. URA and TIA. What do you see the size of it? No, I did the best I could. I've done Course in Miracles, the workbook for students, twice. Well, technically 3 times. The third time I made it all the way through. I have been a minister. I've been wait, what did they say to me the other night? It was just really funny. It made me laugh. I've been a soldier. I've been a soldier, a servant, a sentry, a lord in the gentry, a poet, a prophet, a king. I was like, that sounds like a song from like Broadway. What is that? Like, because that's me. The things you get in the bathroom, I swear. Right? Does that make sense? I'm in the bathroom. No one can get to me. Download. But here's the opportunity that we have. So 26 minutes in, he does go on. Well, that's why I got this gig, apparently. We're going to do a little prayer, a little blessing. As we do here every morning on patreon.com. I'm not editing this with graphics. It's a live stream. I could. I just don't want to. Why? Because it's Dark Moon and Libra Sunday. And I really just want to watch cartoons, which I will. If that's what the kid wants, the kid can have that. That's not burning down the village. And if you don't know what I mean by burning down the village, by the way, because I say it a lot in the readings, it's allowing the anger and the rage and all that fire to possess you, and you just leave everything in ashes. When it's done unconsciously, when you're letting the shadow drive, which is what we're seeing on planet Earth, right? School shootings, racism, misogyny, just name it, violence. It is that. It's allowing the shadow to grab the flamethrower. And as I said to my mom this past week, because I was a handful to raise, as you probably imagine, I say, just imagine what I could do with the truth alone. How scary is that? I don't need to lie. I've been lied to a lot. That's why I don't. But that doesn't mean that I can, well, I can, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea for me to take what I know and decapitate people with the truth. That's not who I want to be. Truth without compassion is brutality. Say it with me. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, right? So it's like, well, he got kicked out of his country. Depot is still the Dalai Lama. They can't take that away from him. No. Saw the world, hung out with Richard Gere, it's like, hey, one door closes, another door opens. But I think he's a pretty good rule of thumb, at least for compassion and kindness, huh? I don't know if he cooks. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. How many recipes with yak butter you're going to make in a lifetime? Blessed be. I'd love to meet him, but I'm afraid to, because I'm afraid I'd pinch his cheeks and be carried away by Buddhist security guards or something. But that's what I mean by burning down the village. It's like, you don't let the child drive. You don't strap the child in, but it's like, are you okay, sweetheart? You're in your seat. I love you. Let's go for a ride and feel these feelings, and break on through to the other side. Oh, I miss Jim Morrison. He's so cute. Hades archetype much? Yeah. Speaks to the Persephone of my soul. Anyway. Speaking of which, maybe I'll pop down there today and say hi to the Lord and Lady of the Underworld. Say hi to Charon. He's got a busy job ferrying people back and forth. They let him let go of the gondola pole. He's just got a little outboard now. It's made out of bones. It's so cute. I don't know how it stays together. Then, of course, I have to go say hi to Cerberus. Good boy. And whatever arises within me, I will love that to the best of my ability, probably with some breath work, probably a gigantic crystal strapped to my chest, right? Thinking about the ex-lovers and soul contracts from all lifetimes, past, present, and future. Regency England, for some reason, Edwardian England seems to be circling my third eye like a satellite. So, all that classism, surfing, SERF, surfing USA. No, not on my watch, night watch. So I think you're getting the vibe. So let's do a little prayer, a little blessing. I like to do these at least 30 minutes, particularly this one's going out to the public. You never know who it's going to help. You never know who it's going to heal. You just say the prayer before you hit record and you do your best, right? So I already got my cords, and I got my torch, and I've got the Book of Ariel. So take a moment, take a sip. Fix your hair, and please take a nice deep breath. And he keeps hitting the coffee table. By the way, I'm naked under this bathrobe. I just thought you should know. Full disclosure. Breathe. Doesn't mean we can't have fun with the shadow work. Alchemy for fun and profit. PROPHET. Still point. And that's not static you're hearing. That's rain. So take a moment and check in. All right, find that still point. That silence, that stillness, that safe space underneath it all. The core of who we are. The divine higher self that manifested this immortal soul to create a personality on a hero's journey with an ego in a human body. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, just resting and gently coming into whatever alignment needs to happen. And if you like, scan your body, right? It's Sunday. Just give the self-care of bringing your body into balance, at least comfortably so. And breathe. You're going to anyway. Just be with your breath or breath work, whatever you want to do. Box breath, ha breath. And relax. There's a perfect waning dark moon technique. Relax. Allow what is to be what is just for now. Breathe yourself into the here and now. And just as a general evaluation, not a judgment, scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? 1 being really just now. Horrible. Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale, depression, powerlessness, despair. 10, walking on sunshine. Whoa, it's Katrina and the Waves reference. Right, bliss, joy, ecstasy, bliss to see. Sounds like a lip balm, because it probably is. Where am I right now? 5, 6, 6.5. I'm not bouncing off the satellites with the B-52s, but nor am I crawling along the sub-basement of Tartarus. So I'm okay. That's what I'm feeling. I'm okay. So with that in mind, from this place. I offer this prayer, this meditation, this practice, whatever it is. Breathe. As I call upon our collective pantheons of the divine, whatever we may call them, I call them our guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, ancestors, and higher selves, all the way back to the divine singularity. The nameless Tao, the pregnant void, the mother of all, source to surround each and every one of us today watching this live or later. In a force field of light containing and protecting our energy field so that we know if we're feeling something and we're not sure if it's us or somebody else, we will know it does not matter because it made it through the force field of light, of truth. Great filter, really. Puts HEPA filters to shame energetically so that we can feel what we got to feel and heal what we got to heal and allow the voice of the wounds of injustice within us personally, politically, within our own family, political structures, let alone in the world, but those two. For millennia, the injustice has been unchecked for the most part. Not so much the stuff of laws, but the stuff of interpersonal relationships. Hurt people. But there is a variable in that equation. That love is the answer. And that is a mystery how. Love is the answer. How love conquers all. True love conquers all, breaks all curses. And true love not being some romantic fantasy notion, but the fusion of the divine masculine third eye truth with the feminine heart chakra love. Choice by choice by choice, bringing that inside. Which means that it's our choice to love what we see within ourselves, light or shadow, lead or gold. And how in the world do we dare expect anybody else in the world to do that if we're not doing it ourselves? So take us by the hand today. Guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, etc., etc., etc. That we may have the best day that we can have today. And best according to a higher criteria than the ego just getting what it wants. Which I'm sure enjoy that, but we don't let the kid drive the show. But we can give it time, space, rest, and breath. Bring ourselves into balance. Polarity therapy. Yoga. Dance. Wim Hof. Energy tapping. Ho'oponopono. Chakra balancing. Stick a crystal in every hole you got. Whatever. Take us by the hand today and show us what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom, even if it's not talking to anybody else for the rest of the day except to that shadow within us. Surrendering those three atoms that stand between lead and gold on the periodic table, and it's lithium. It cracks me up. And may our companions along the way who do make it through that force field of light be sweet and warm and cuddly and kind. Even if they're a Taurus black cat named Melchior, who's like a medicine ball in a pillowcase. Go ahead, I love you, you stubborn thing. And may we remember today that the soul is gold. And that love is who we are, and we are truth. It's not about finding the truth, it's about being the truth. But that means being authentic about how we feel. We know we're going to blame people, places, things, past lives, planets that appear to go backwards but really don't, and then go direct, but as it has ever been. But let us know that the blame is just part of the program. To place the power beyond where we can do anything about it, outside of ourselves. With Dark Moon and Libra, the answer is within, as it appears to always have been. So may we be blessed with all that we need today to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve. to fulfill our role in the ineffable, great plan, better than anything we can imagine or conceive, for our well-being, for the well-being of all, and for what I like to lovingly call permanent paradise planet Earth in progress. Thank you, beloved pantheons of the divine. Thank you for the well-being of all, with harm to none. Eyes up here, ladies. As we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. So it is. I love you. I love you, my patrons. We just got another one yesterday. Just keep swimming, 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 and let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another pizza pie. Well, pizza pie. So pizza left over from yesterday. Bacon, chicken, cheddar, ranch pizza, baby. Yeah, I'm Italian, but that doesn't mean I can't go a little Midwestern when the taste summons me forward. I love you all. Thank you, my patrons, my humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses. Oh, the anniversary is the 18th of November. I will be adding Seeker, which will be the lowest subscription payment tier just for people to get these morning live streams and the extended reads. Like, I figured that's good. They're $3 a month if they want to dip a toe, as well as I'm going to be adding Mystic. I can't believe it's almost been a year. I'm excited though. And for anybody else watching this on YouTube or wherever this link may find you, if you want to come play channel on Patreon. But I release these to the public about every other week or so. Maybe I'll do it on a regular Sunday morning service kind of gig, but we'll see what the inspiration says. And for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, you'll notice that no one chatted because we had a lovely discussion about this over on Patreon, how we were going to do this. That if my patrons actually type something in the live stream feed chatty chat thing, that they know they are letting people know. It's like, this is who I am, and I'm in this Patreon, so that's why they're not, and that's okay too. Why? Because honoring boundaries, our own, allows us to have a little bit more wiggle room with honoring other people's. Yeah. So I'm out of here. I have to get on camera in the next couple of hours. I think I need another cup of coffee. I think I need a chakra defibrillator to get some of these guys moving, but you know what? I think I'll pull it off. You know why? Because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. Fucking just call me Mal. I love you. Have a great day. Dark Moon in Libra. Sun in Scorpio. Don't burn down the village. And Scorpio, don't flood it either. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hail. Farewell. And blessed be. Bye.